If you're interested in learning more about the Salesforce Experience Cloud but aren't quite sure how to get started, then this video is definitely for you. The amount of information about Experience Cloud can be a bit overwhelming, but if you'd like to take more of a hands-on approach and explore what the templates and themes and components look like and how they interact, then you can do that through a pretty easy process that I'm going to outline here on Trailhead. So if you're new to Trailhead, you can get started for free and go ahead and sign up. And if you do already have a Trailhead account, just go ahead and log in. Once you're logged into Trailhead, go to your profile avatar and go down to the hands-on orgs. Click that, and we're going to create a new playground. Name this one Digital Experience Demo and create. So it might take a minute or two to spin up that new playground, but once that's done, you'll see the buttons here. We can go ahead and click launch to get started. So once you're logged in to your new playground org, you can go up to the gear icon and click setup. Now we're going to want to go to the quick find box and just type digital, and we see digital experiences, and we want to click settings. So this checkbox really unlocks all the capabilities to explore Experience Cloud. So I'm just going to go ahead and check that box, enable digital experiences. Now we get a little success message. You can now create Experience Cloud sites. All you need to do to get started is click the new button. You'll be prompted to choose the experience you love. We can see the first couple options have LWR included in the title. If you're not familiar with LWR versus ARA frameworks, you can check out the first video in this series that outlines key terminology related to Experience Cloud sites. For the purposes of this video, we will be looking at the ARA templates, which begin with the Help Center and also include Customer Account Portal, Customer Service, Build Your Own ARA, and Partner Central. These last two, Aloha is an app launcher, so that's not really a custom branded digital experience. Also, Salesforce tabs and Visual Force. Visual Force is essentially outdated technology. It hasn't been sunsetted, but it's not the best approach if you want to create a modern looking web experience. Visual Force predates Lightning Experience, so if you're familiar with Salesforce Classic, that's what Visual Force looks like. To get started with a more modern template, we're going to go ahead and select Customer Service and just click that Get Started button. Now we're going to name this Customer Service Demo and click Create. So now that the site's been created, we are looking at all the different workspaces. These are different areas where you can manage different features of the Experience Cloud site. But for the main visual user experience, all that's going to happen within the builder. So when you first launch the builder, you'll be prompted with this guided tour walkthrough. We're going to go ahead and click next on that first one. And now we're looking at the components section. So if we click lightning bolt icon at the top left sidebar, you're going to see a list of all the available components. These can be dragged into the canvas. And when you scroll around the canvas, you're going to see the existing components selected. These are just the prepackaged out of the box components that come baked in with this particular template. So the theme panel is where you're going to be able to set custom branding by selecting colors, importing images for header areas, selecting a font, and dialing in particular theme settings. The page structure panel lets you look at a tree of all the components being used on this particular page. If you click on these components, you'll see the parameters panel loading on the right. These parameters are where you're going to customize each individual component based on how you want to use that. And so depending on what kind of component it is, it will have different options, different sort of areas that you can customize. Some of them have these drop-down menus. And this page structure panel is just an easy way to look through and see everything that's on the page. Sometimes it's easy to miss things. As you can see right here, there are a couple components that are baked in here, but they're not showing within the builder. So you might not realize they were there if you're just looking at the page, but they will show up over here. So recommendations carousel, and there we are, recommendations carousel. So this gear icon is going to load the general settings panel. These are site-wide settings across your Experience Cloud site. And you can explore many tabs, translation, navigation menus, open publisher, etc. Go ahead and continue. Now this one is talking about the component properties, which I already mentioned, but because it loads over top of the component properties, it's kind of hard to see what exactly it's talking about. That's why I covered that earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue again. Now the experiences menu is this icon up the very top left. If you click that top left icon, you'll see that you can access any of those workspaces we saw before or load Salesforce setup. So it's just an easy way to navigate to different areas within the digital experience platform. Now the pages menu gives you a list of all of the pages that are available within this site. As you can see, there are a lot of pages that are prepackaged with this particular template, and this is also where you can go to create new pages. Now the page actions menu is something that you can access just by hovering over an individual page. You'll see with each one, these 3 dots icons appear, and you can click the page actions to load other menus. So we look at the particular page settings. We'll go ahead and click continue. We've got a properties tab where we can set things like SEO title, meta description, add scripts to the header, or adjust the layout of that particular page. And if we click the page variations tab, this is where you can create alternate versions. If you want to do some testing while you have one page that's live, but you want to create other versions and test those before switching those out and publishing a new version, this is where you can access those features. The view mode is going to give you options to view the Experience Cloud site on different devices. So whether that's desktop, tablet, or a mobile device, you can get those different views by clicking this view mode icon. And the preview mode is going to toggle back and forth between the builder, where you are selecting and configuring components, and the front end display of the site, where you can actually click through, navigate through menu items, and experience the site as an end user would. And then finally, there's the publish button up here at the top right. So the publish button is to promote any changes or any updates you've made to the live version of the site. So you can play around with different options and sort of test things out. You're going to need to click publish to commit those to the actual site. And then finally, it just gives you the option to take the tour again. We're going to go ahead and close that. And now we're just going to look at some basic branding capabilities. Like we saw before in the guided tour, we're going to want to go over to the theme section. And I'm going to go to images and go ahead and click company logo. This is going to give me the ability to upload. And if we click off of this panel, then we can see the logo's been added there. So also within the themes panel, we've got this colors menu. I'm going to go ahead and expand navigation. And we're going to update the navigation bar background color. And we can see that changes immediately in the builder layout. All right, so now we've updated the navigation bar background color. We've added a logo. We might want to do some more customization, but you might find that you're reaching some limits as far as what you can do with this theme. So there's a really handy trick. If you're familiar with CSS, you can use what's called a CSS override. So I'm going to open up the panel again. You'll find that underneath this down arrow. I'm going to go ahead and click Edit CSS. So if you're not exactly sure what CSS you want to tweak, one way to sort of debug that is to go ahead and click the preview button, which will load it to the front end. And then you can right click on the section to load the inspector panel. Find the elements that you want to create new styles for. So here we have header-overlay ID, and we can see here a background that if you click on and off that checkbox, you'll see that that's affecting that gray background color. These are the elements we want to target, and this is the specific CSS property that we want to update to change that color. So I'm going to hop back to the builder, close that inspector panel, and open up this Edit CSS panel again. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in a little CSS. If you're going to be using the CSS overrides, you're going to want to use it sparingly. I would also highly recommend spending some time to comment your styles so you know exactly what elements they're affecting. It's a lot easier to maintain with some good comments in there. So this is not just the banner. As we can see, I'm also adding a couple styles to adjust the size of the logo and also update the color of the user profile link. And when I click save, we can see those updates take hold. Okay, so now we've seen some basic branding functionality. We uploaded a brand logo. We added some custom CSS to tweak some other colors and reposition the size of the logo. Now we can also come in here to the navigation menu component, click that, and we see this parameters panel pop up. And let's click the hide app launcher and header, so we don't need to see that. We remove that waffle icon. And then this other one I think is a nice one too, replace home text with icon. So instead of saying home, it'll just change that to a nice little home icon. You can continue to build out your menu by clicking edit default navigation, or if you like, go into settings, navigation, and create separate navigation menus for use in different areas of the site. Now that we've seen some basic branding capabilities, I want to show how you can change the theme. So now I'm going to go ahead and select this Jepson theme, activate that, and we can see we have a whole different look and layout now, different components as well. So you may notice we can't really see our logo anymore, but with this theme, if we click on this compact header component, we can see we have options now. So we can use a color picker to slide around, drag different colors for that menu that we couldn't affect with the previous theme. We'll go ahead and paste in that dark blue. And now we can't really see the menu, but we can go to links, link color, and use our color picker again. We'll just slide that to white. So the point of showing these component features is to highlight that there are nuances when it comes to capabilities within the different themes and templates. So different themes and different templates come with different sets of components, and those components might vary slightly as far as how they work and what parameters you can adjust within them. And that's all just within the context of the Aura templates. The LWR framework includes an entirely different set of templates and components, and we'll look at basic LWR templates in the next video in this series. If you have any questions about this video, or if you have any requests to cover specific Experience Cloud topics, please leave that in the comments. And be sure to subscribe if you're interested in learning more about creating custom digital experiences with Salesforce.